After the events of the previous Trolls movie, Poppy has been crowned queen and remains best friends with Branch, though he's actually looking for something more. However, a new threat arises when a message from Barb, ruler of the Hard Rock Trolls, arrives in the Troll Village. Poppy's father explains that there are actually 6 classes of trolls, each representing a different genre of music: pop, techno, funk, classical, country, and hard rock. And each of those 6 classes has their own representative string of music. A literal guitar string of music, that is. Now, Poppy, Branch, and a few others have set out to try to prove that in true harmony fashion, you must actually learn to embrace your differences and not try to unite under one genre. However, Barb will set out to nothing to try to turn everyone into hard rock zombies. This is Trolls World Tour. So, yeah, this movie is really weird. This is a family film that begins with the lead heroine in the shower with a bunch of strategically placed bubbles. So yeah, that's how that works. That just raises way too many questions, and that's, I think, the main problem with this film is it doesn't really do a good job of telling its story. Like, there are times, like, you can see where it's trying to hit its stride, and it just keeps running into a wall. It just, like, the idea is, part of Poppy's arc is she wants everyone to think she's a good queen, but everyone's kind of, for lack of a better term, intimidated by her new status, and they don't really tell her what needs to be told, but rather what she wants to hear. But it's what she wants to hear, so again, it's kind of, yeah, it's the idea that she's not really fully accepting of her new title. On top of that, you have Branch, who, yeah, like at this point, again, like I said, is in love with Poppy, but he's afraid to express himself in that manner as well. But again, like, it's brought up a couple of times, and then it isn't brought up, and then it is brought up, and it just doesn't quite seem to work either. And sort of from that, it's where I see a lot of the problems seem to just keep coming up. Like, you get these moments, you know, like they start traveling to the other genre music troll kingdoms, and, you know, as they're doing this, like, Barb has actually set out a group of bounty hunters to try to catch them because Poppy actually sent like an RSVP invitation that had a glitter bomb in it, and again, like, Barb believes that pop music just ruins everything because it's so bland and earwormy and all that stuff. And, like, I'm trying to make this make sense. I'm sorry. It's just, again, it's like plot ideas there sound good, but then they don't really seem to follow through on them very well at all. Like, the overall message of the film is, again, the idea of, you know, you can like all music, but you don't have to like the same music, basically. In fact, the big revelation is, you know, the strings were all part of the same instrument at once, and then the pop trolls basically tried to take it over. And while they thought they were trying to make the world a better place, in reality they were overwhelming all of the other genres of music. And the people who represented those genres were feeling, you know, left out. And it's like, you either have to like pop music or you can't like anything else. And so they each took their own representative string from this lyre. It's a guitar now because of what Barb is trying to do. And, you know, they went to their own separate fiefdom, basically, and that's kind of how that works. But then there's other points, too, like, you know, really techno and funk, and to an extent a lot of pop music nowadays is all sort of a melding of those genres. So, yeah, and it's kind of, and they're trying, like, I know one of the big problems with the first Trolls movie is that it had a very kind of pro-conformist message. And this one is trying to say, it's trying to not have that, but in a way it's winding up being a pro-conformist message. In fact, at one point too, Barb actually and Poppy actually talk a little bit. Again, Barb herself states, the problem with being a queen is no one wants to tell you the truth, they just want to tell you what they want to hear, and you don't know if you're really doing a good job, you just kind of think you are, but then it's never really explored any further. Like, like, you introduce this idea, but then you don't really do anything with it. I would also point out the songs don't really work in this either. Like, they're very, very short. They're very short and they're done, and I'm trying to honestly remember how many of them have any type of message to them at all. Like, I mean, obviously a lot of them are just recited pop songs. Like, they make a Who Let the Dogs Out reference, they make a Wannabe by the Spice Girls reference, they do party rock anthem, they do some of the funk songs, they do Daft Punk, but again, it's like they're only there for just enough for you to realize what they're doing, and then it stops. There's these kind of weird little moments that just don't really seem to work at all. And again, sort of from this, there's just a lot of bizarreness. Like, I guess I didn't really mention this before. There's, where we get to some of the subgenres of music, where the idea is Barb has hired these sort of bounty hunters to go after them, and it's the smooth jazz trolls, the yodelers, the K-pop trolls, and the reggaeton trolls. So it's like, where do their kingdoms go? And like, whoever gets it gets their own special kingdom where their music can be around. But again, like, I'm still confused by a lot of this. I will say this, to the film's benefit, the animation is really, really well done. It is far and away the best part of this movie by any stretch of the imagination. It is amazing how well they work the colors in, and how each of the trolls has their own distinct look to them, and where some of this stuff, like I said, where they have their own distinct look, and the pop trolls are very bright and colory, and the hard rock trolls are dark, but the techno trolls have the kind of neon thing, and the funk trolls are all kind of disco-y in every way. So all of that is really good. Like, all of that really works well. And I will say this, there is one character arc that does work pretty well in this, and it's the arc of Cooper, who is the one that kind of looks like a llama. He has 4 legs and a long neck, and he sort of realizes, hey, the funk trolls look a lot like me. How is it that I don't look like any of the other trolls and the pop trolls, but I look a lot like these funk trolls? And he sort of goes out on his own journey to find the funk trolls and see, if they really are his kind. And he makes some kind of surprising discoveries on his own. And that's actually a really interesting story arc. In fact, I would have much rather followed that story arc more. He sort of disappears from the movie for about 20 minutes at a clip. So yeah, like I said, overall, that's probably one of the lone really good parts alongside the animation with this. I am going to be giving Trolls World Tour a D. Again, it tries really hard, but they just kind of keep falling flat on their face. Like, I can't quite give it an F because the animation was so good, but still, I don't really feel like recommending this to that many people.
Every little girl loves little trolls, but what do guys wish for?
Battle trolls are out of control! Battle trolls! Big-haired dudes with bad attitudes, born to battle. Even other battle trolls. Troll Call, Trollminator, Count Trollula, Nunchuck Troll, Bullseye Troll and the Troll Net Launcher, Sven Troll and his Trollosaurus. Battle trolls are out of control! Trolls and troll sets each sold separately.
Okay, obviously, no trailers again, but still, the next movie review is going to be the WWE-produced Netflix original, The Main Event. After that, it's going to be I believe, French movie called Earth and Blood. It might be French, it might be something else, I'm not entirely sure. Looked kind of interesting, so that's another Netflix movie. In fact, it's pretty much Netflix for the rest of the month. There will be another kind of classic TV review, like the review I had with Wildcats. It'll kind of be sort of a two-parter. I'll get into that when I get into that. And obviously we're also going to be doing the random trade review on Black Panther, Man Without Fear. So see you all next time. Hey guys, remember, you can help support my channel at patreon.com/sleepytime for cat productions, where you can help request a movie, even if it's something like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog or the next Purge film. I'll review it.